Howdy folks, welcome to the channel Rockin' the Country. I'm Dunn. I'm reacting to non-pop country music on this channel. So a lot of traditional stuff. Brooks and Dunn's Indian Summer. I don't know this song. It's a gift request from Michael Savage. So Michael, thank you for the gift and for this request. And Michael said that his three favorite Brooks and Dunn songs are this one, Indian Summer, The Long Goodbye, and That Ain't No Way to Go. And he chose this one because of Ronnie's vocals. So yeah, that's why you would choose one, right? So Ronnie's the one who carries the vocal load, but Kix also does his thing. And I think they now went, like 5 years ago, I think they decided to go split and go solo. And it wasn't an animosity thing. They'd been together for 25, 30 years. Anyhow, just artistically, people like to express themselves and try different things. And that's how I recall it going. You correct me if I'm off. But anyway, let's see Indian Summer. I don't know this song. It's a reaction. I didn't grow up on country, and so the stuff, I'm hearing it for the first time. So you're watching somebody who grew up on rock, who came to country probably 15 years ago, but traditional only about 7 years ago, hearing these songs for the very first time. All right, here we go. I like the bass under it. The pedal.
The tall weeds lay flat down on the hard, flat Kansas ground, and a sad song in her head kept blowing round. She barely even knew his name, but she liked the way he played the game. And everybody cheered when he scored that last touchdown.
Yeah.
Indian Summer, the wonder, the hunger, and the sound of distant thunder. Indian Summer, tangled in a moment of truth, bottle of wine in a motel room. Blue haze circle around cold gray moon.
Old gray moon.
While the wind chased the leaves outside, passion found a place to hide. Late September heat couldn't be denied. Oh, Indian Summer, the wonder, the hunger, and the sound of distant thunder.
All right.
Indian Summer.
We're in the fall, because that's what an Indian summer is, really warm weather, usually in November. Maybe October.
She never even finished school.
Oh.
People like to talk, they can be so cruel. I heard California was a place to start brand new. So she left that Dust Bowl town. Sometimes when the long wind howls, wonder where we'd be if I'd never scored that last touchdown.
He went to college.
Indian Summer, the wonder.
Wait, but that last touchdown could also have double meaning to it, double entendre, where On the field, he scored a touchdown, but off it, he scored a touchdown, so to speak. And I guess she got pregnant. She didn't finish school. I mean, that's what I'm hearing in the song right now.
Hunger and the sound of distant thunder. Indian summer.
Yeah. You know, it's an interesting way to develop the idea. And I got the sense that this is like a high school thing, and not college, but high school. But that line, I wonder where we'd be if we hadn't scored that last touchdown. And those sorts of details are absolutely everywhere in life, where when something goes wrong, we tend to look at, let's say you wound up in a fender bender in the parking lot. Let's just keep it a simple thing. You wound up in a parking lot. You backed into this other vehicle, or they backed into you, and it's inconvenient. You got to wait for the police to come. You got to take the report and got to report it to the insurance company. Got to get everything fixed. All that stuff. It's a pain in the butt, right? And you're like, oh my God, I got to get to work. I got to pick my kid up, and I'm not allowed to leave the scene of an accident. Oh, whatever. Then you replay your trip through the store, and you were thinking of going back and getting getting those mangoes, but you're like, should I, shouldn't I, should I, shouldn't I? And you're deliberating, and you don't go back and get the mangoes, and you go to the register, and you pay, you go out, you get in your car, and the accident happens. And so you replay all the different details of your trip to the grocery store, and you're like, God, if I just didn't deliberate about getting the mangoes, if I just gotten them, or if I just not even thought to get them, I wouldn't have been in the car at the same time that other person was. So you replay all these things that could have changed the outcome. And life is so full of dynamics. The vast majority of things don't show up on your register, if you will. It's called silent evidence. People are afraid of flying because every couple of years there's an air disaster. The airplane goes down, 200 people die. It could be in India, it could be in Canada, US, anywhere, but it gets played over and over and over again in the news, and then people get that idea in their head. What isn't shown on the news are the tens of thousands of flights that take off worldwide, that take off and land safely, uneventfully. That's not in your psyche. So what we do is we replay what we consider to be the seminal event. But the thing is, there are so many events that would alter the outcome of events. You can't do that. If you wind up in a fender bender, it's the proper question to ask is, what is the likelihood? And this is a frame of reference argument, not unlike Albert Einstein's theory of relativity, where it has to do with reference frames. But I'll put this in human terms and daily events, where what is the likelihood that I will get in a fender bender today? Very unlikely. What is the likelihood that somebody will get in a fender bender today? Very likely. So your frame of reference from up here, as a data statistician, let's say, would say, or a governor of a state would say, somebody in my state's getting in a fender bender today. And then if you ask the question, the moment you get your driver's license, you're 17 years old in the state of New Jersey, you get your driver's license, and your parents say that they're talking to themselves, right? You're not in this conversation. They're like, what's the likelihood that Don's going to get in a fender bender at some point in his life? And the likelihood is really high. But when it happens, You're like, why did that happen? I can't believe it. If all I did was this or that. And that's what that little vignette of what would have happened if we didn't score that last touchdown. And it's like, okay, you can play out all the different scenarios, but I still, in the context of this song, I don't know what he was referring to. She didn't finish school, so I think the implication is she got pregnant and didn't finish school. But I hear California's a real good place to start over. Maybe she had the baby and left. Maybe he decided to bail on her. But they had that passion in the hotel room. You know, people were talking because they hooked up. I guess. I don't know if she got pregnant, though. And then that line, I wonder where we'd be if I never scored that last touchdown. Maybe they could be together. They could be together. And maybe who knows? Maybe they had a child. He scored that touchdown. She loved that part of it because I think they said she was really into it when he scored that last touchdown. So I guess they won the game and that made him a big deal. But where did they hooked up in a hotel room. Where'd he go? I don't know. There are a lot of details left out of this thing. You guys who've heard the song many times could fill me in on this one because there are missing pieces to it. I love this. She left to go to California, but did he go with her or not? I don't remember the lyrics well. I didn't get the sense. I got the sense they went their separate ways. People were being mean, I guess, but what? Because she slept with the guy? I mean, that happens kind of regularly, though. So why? I don't think it's that. I got a feeling she had the baby. She had a baby. Goodness gracious. How do you leave in high school, though, on your own? You don't. I don't think she had a baby. I think she just left because people were mean that she hooked up with him. But does he think about her? Oh, God, I love songs that make me try to put the pieces together. Mike, beautiful. You know what? I love the fiddle in this thing. It was the first time I ever had the thought, because I went from rock into country, and there were elements in rock, like Southern rock that I listened to, like Skinner, the Allman Brothers, Outlaws, even hearing John Denver on the radio playing, that sort of introduced me, the Grateful Dead, that introduced me to some elements of country, even though I hated country growing up. But then later on in life, it was like they kind of warmed me up toward country. Well, in this song, for the very first time, as I was really listening to the fiddle play, which is a violin, just in country music. Maybe it has slightly different strings, I think. But the first time I thought country music might actually prepare people for classical music because of the violin, the fiddle. So, all right, guys, I'm going to rate this song. And the number that popped into my head was a 9.2. The strength of the instrumentation, but the storyline, which was open-ended. I like mysteries. This wasn't a puzzle where each piece sort of makes the picture clearer. A mystery, at least according to Malcolm Gladwell, is, and I like this perspective, is something that the more information you get, the cloudier the picture becomes. So this is still a mystery to me. So, Michael, thank you for that gift and request, guys. Have a great day. See you on another video. I look forward to the comments and keep rocking the country.